This is Patti Negri, everybody. You're so many things. You're a good witch of Hollywood. You wrote a book, Old World Magic for the Modern World. You have your own podcast, The Witching Hour. You graced so many magazine covers. You're on TV or news. You're everywhere. Can you tell us just uh, just a little bit more about yourself? I mean, we would need like 10-hour show for
Okay,
that,
sit
but
back. No, sure. I'm just a little LA girl. I was born with a sight. I was able to see spirits since I was 3 or 4 years old. I thought everybody could. The guy in the closet was this, the guy under the bed, and they were real. I got real information from them. They weren't imaginary friends by any means. I always had this little obsession with the dead, but absolutely not in a morbid or dark way. They were my friends. I literally did my first seance at 7 or 8. Realized I didn't know dead people. I'm like, Marilyn Monroe, John Kennedy, everybody I could think of that was dead that a 7 or 8 year old knows. And I went in my little, windowless hallway and just conjured and brought in lights and orbs and everything. And as I ran out of the room screaming, I was inside going, yes, 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 this is real and it can be controlled. Part of my gift is I actually see energy. So I see the cords between people. I cut the cords, no strings attached. I see the energy. I see the spirits. So I've just become a seeker with that, going, what is this world? I tried like every belief system, every religion, and they're all great. But I kind of settled on a very elemental, shamanic, pagan system because it's just in my blood. I would literally, be picking rosemary in my parents' backyard, and just knowing if I put some rosemary in my mom's wallet, it would draw money to her. It's just in the blood. So that whole witchy path was just born in me.
wow. So
Yeah.
you are a real witch. So happy Halloween, everybody,
Happy
first of all.
Halloween.
And it looks like there are two witches here, but it's only one. We have a real witch here. So what does it mean to be a witch?
Okay, to be a witch means a lot of things. People actually misinterpret it sometimes. To say you're a witch could be your religion. You could be, I am Wiccan, I am ceremonialist, I am a chaos magician, I am traditional British. It's kind of like saying I'm Protestant, I'm Catholic, I'm evangelical within the Christian realm. So it could be your religion, your belief system. I am pagan, I am Wiccan, taking on, kind of often a feminine based or a multi-male female based deity. But to be a witch, the way I use the term, even though I do grab in everybody's philosophy, it means you are willing to take fate into your own hands and change it and shift it, in a sense, in a good way, the good way. Because naturally, if we just followed life's paths, everything goes the easy path. Everything does. Water runs downhill. But if your water's running downhill and you go, I want the water on top of the mountain, I'm going to put a dam here. I'm going to build this. I'm going to put some things and make it go, the water goes over here. That's what witchcraft is. That's what a witch is. Whether we're using mugwort and dragon's blood and herbs and oils and sounds and chimes and ritual, we're working within what nature gave us, God, nature, whatever word you want to use, to shift and change. It does have a big responsibility, though, because if you are changing fate, you are changing destiny, you have the coin, the kickback. So that's why I work good magic versus bad magic. And so because you have to create the world you live in. So like a love spell on somebody would be great. Bring me the love of my life. That's good magic. That's white magic, whatever. Bring me the love of life. Make them funny. Make them this. If you go do a love spell on Fred, that's black magic, because we don't have Fred's permission unless you got Fred's permission. If you got Fred's permission, then you probably don't need the love spell anyway.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. Controlling anybody else. You control yourself, your world, or the person you're working with. And you don't have to send anybody negative things. I mean, I'm just from the school of more for everybody, more for everybody. Even like my weird competition thing, like MasterChef or Wipeout. I use witchcraft to beat 70,000 people on Wipeout. I use witchcraft to beat 100,000 people on MasterChef. I use it on America's Got Talent. None of those shows should I have been on. I wasn't the athlete for Wipeout. I'm certainly not the cook for MasterChef. I'm not the kind of person that would get on AGT, but I use positive witchcraft. But It wasn't like, oh, let that person lose, that person lose. No, I was sincere. It's like, good luck to you. I want you to, good luck to you. What you're putting out is what you get back. So if just people would get that, this abundance way of thinking. So to me, that's what, yes, I'm a witch. Yes, I am a pagan. That's the one I use more. I work with kind of just energy more than even specific deities. But to say I'm a witch and practice the craft means I am willing to create my life.
And you're not influencing anyone's free will.
Never.
And that's great.
Never.
I remember when I saw you on Gaia, I forgot
Yeah.
to say that. And my husband was watching, he was watching Gaia before sleep, and then he would fall asleep. And I've seen you, and you were talking about you were a witch. And I'm like, she's a witch? And I was looking at you, and you didn't look like what I thought witch was. And you were, and he fell asleep, and I watched the whole thing. And you actually changed my mind about witches.
Aw,
You changed my mind.
thanks.
I really started looking at it differently, because you know how it is. We are brought up in a certain way. I was brought up Catholic. I mean, I am Catholic, and you see witches in like Disney.
Yeah.
You know how to
Hollywood
portray
has
them.
done- yes.
So and you changed my mind. I'm so happy you could be here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is the sweetest, most. I mean, yes, of course, there's bad witches, good witches. There's bad Catholics, good Catholics. There's
course.
bad everything.
I'm bad.
But
Yeah.
but no, it is the sweetest, most taking responsibility belief system. It's actually, if you don't have a natural sense of right and wrong, if you don't have integrity, if you don't have a sense of virtue, if you don't have moral code, you will get in trouble doing
Mhm.
that. Because if you don't know right from wrong and you start playing with witchcraft, you will get yourself in trouble.
Mhm.
But if you have the right intent and you do know right from wrong,
That's
it's
awesome.
magic.
And about Wicca, what is Wicca? And do you have to be Wiccan to be a witch?
No, absolutely not. That's like saying, do you have to be Catholic to be a Christian? No. Wicca is a very modern practice. It's built in the 50s. It was taken off ceremonial magic. It was the old school British traditional craft. There was the whole Celtic tradition. There was very, very, out in the woods kind of people. But I think it was about the 50s when Wicca got formed, Gerald Gardner and Crowley and all those people. And it became very much the religion. 8 major holidays, 4 based on the seasons: spring Aquanex, fall Aquanex, winter, and then 4 on the holy days, which again, everybody shares the same holy days pretty much. The pagans have Yule, which the Christians took on as Christmas. That's where the Christmas tree comes from. Jesus really wouldn't have had a Christmas tree. He would have had a palm tree.
Yeah.
But that's cool. It all works together because it's about new life. It's about new life and the light coming down. We have Ostara, which is the same Christian Easter. Bunnies and eggs don't really have anything to do with Jesus rising. It's about the spring fertility festival and the joy of life. Everything is very based on nature elementally, because that's what the ancient people knew: stars and moons and cycles.
Yeah.
And it's just honoring nature.
And why do you think mainstream religion prosecuted pagans?
Because that's in those days, that was the day. It wasn't about being the good Christian or the good whoever. It was about control. It was about controlling the people. And witches or those free thinkers are harder to control. It's not because a book says do this or do that. It's my heart is telling me do this or do that, and what is right and what is wrong. And most of those, in those early ones, they were like midwives and they were healers and herbal healers. They weren't even necessarily witches at all. They were just people who embraced their power. So I think it's about power. Just, if you really study religion, which I tend to, it's like Jesus was great. Christianity is great. The whole point of it is great. But the people kept tweaking it. They took out reincarnation, and I forget what, 1600, just whatever, so they can, this is good. It's not about this life. It's about the next life. It's not, it's be good here. Do what we tell you here. Then you're going to be good. We're like, live now.
Exactly.
Live now.
And how is it different now? Are people less judgmental towards witches?
Yeah, it's a whole new resurgence. I guess I'm like 30, 40 years ahead of the curve. But yeah, I think some mainstream religion is keeping up with modern times and some isn't. And right now, as we move into these different times, we're literally that age of Aquarius they sang about in the 60s. Uh, there's no solid ground. It's not black and white and right and wrong. And our parents, it's, and some people aren't getting enough of solace from their regular places of worship. So they're discovering something that works with even modern science better, weirdly. It works
Hmm.
with just working with energy, and it doesn't even have to be religious by any means. It all goes down to science, really. It all goes down to numbers. It all goes down to energy.
Yeah, about energy. So for the last like few decades, we started learning things like vibration, energy, law
Hmm.
of attraction. But it seems like witches knew about that for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So why do you think is that true? And why is that becoming mainstream now? Why do we learn about these things now? Is it Age of
It's
Aquarius or?
yeah. It's as the veil is thinning. It's because as we move into the age of Aquarius, because we got numb again as we modernized the world and as we became and modern technology and modern society, which is all great, but we got numb to our instincts, our intuition. Um, like I have this simple thing. It's in my book. Follow moon cycles. How simple is that? We are 60% water. Our planet's 70% water. We are affected by the moon. Everybody says, "Oh, it's the full moon." You know, the hospital gets crazy. The police. What we're affected by every moon cycle. If every full moon, we get outside and we go, "Thank you, whoever you're thanking, God, the moon, the universe, your higher self. Thank you, thank you, thank you." It's about gratitude. And then make wishes for what you want. And I want this. And I want a bigger apartment. Whatever that is.
Mhm.
They're hearing. We are tapping into our tides. And then the next 2 weeks, while the moon is waning or getting smaller, that's the time to let go of things. That's the time I will start a diet. Somebody should quit smoking. I worry too
Mhm.
much. I don't take enough time for myself. You wake up in the morning, go, the moon is waning. I'm going to let go. And then you get down to the dark moon every month, the new moon. That's the time to contemplate. We just had one like yesterday. What do I want now? Not what did I want yesterday? Not what does my husband or a family want for me? What do I feel now? And then the next 2 weeks, while the moon is waxing or getting bigger, you're 60%. You add into your life more love, more fun, more sex, more lunch with your girlfriends, whatever. Now, all of a sudden, you are actually consciously creating each day, and you're tapping into your 60% water body. You will be amazed. The good stuff in your life gets better faster and faster. And not bad stuff, but the stuff you don't need anymore starts falling away with the grace and ease of the moon. And 10 times faster. It's crazy. And with ease and grace. Early man just knew that naturally. We don't. So people are getting back to that because we got numb.
Yeah.
We use terms like
Mm.
asleep at the wheel, by rote, automatic pilot, phoned in. That's numb. And witches are going, "No, wake up, wake up."
And what is actually magic?
Magic with a K, magic with a
With a K,
C,
yeah.
you pull a rabbit out of a hat and you do a card trick. Magic with a K is using energy and being willing to shift it. Whatever it is. Again, if it's a candle working, you're working with herbs and oils, you're working with sound, a drum circle. It certainly doesn't have to be pagan. It could be Christians do this too. It could be the power behind something. It's causing the shift of what it is. So magic is, this is over here and I want it here and I'm going to get it over here.
It's like a prayer with action.
It's a prayer with
Oh.
action. The biggest believer. I'm of mind, body, spirit. That's not all pagan by any means.
Mhm.
There's 20,000 books written, mind, body, spirit, the psychology section, the spirituality section, the new age section, the pagan section, the occult section. And to me, we get everything. Well, we know the mind part. We will never surpass our own belief system. We won't. That's psychology. It's going to be easy. You just made it easier. I'll never be able to do it. You just let into that. I could be king of the world. We have to believe that we'll never surpass our own beliefs. We understand that. Mind, body. We have to take action at it. We get that. I'm going to be healthier. I'll eat better. I'll work out. Mind, body. But spirit, that's the less tangible that people don't get. And if you have 1 out of 3, that's wishful thinking. I wish I was in better shape. I wish I had money. I wish I had a boyfriend or girlfriend. 2 out of 3 is hit or miss, but 3 out of 3 is always a home run. I mean, unless it's like to be a foot taller or fly without an airplane. You don't want to break the laws of physics.
Mhm.
But But the spirit, the people don't get that because it's less tangible. Actually, it's the battery that makes it happen. And it can be go to church and pray. That could be, it could be faith. It could be new age, do a vision board. It could be, affirmations. I am powerful affirmations, or it can be a spell working or herbs or oils or ritual or working with deity or working with elementals or working with the strength of a tree or the thought process of the air that goes through. And when you have all three, you get it. Really, you could go through your whole life and look at the stuff that you've gotten, you've accomplished, you believed you would, you took action, and you had some kind of magic or faith or energy behind it. The stuff that hasn't quite worked out for you yet, you're missing one or two of those things. You either just don't really believe it, you're not taking any action for it, or there's just, you're not any spirit, action, faith behind it. You could go through everything in your life. So witchcraft works perfectly into that.
And can you follow a mainstream religion and be a witch?
Mm-hmm. I know lots and lots of Christian witches. I know Jewish witches. I know Buddhist witches, tons of Buddhist witches. I know it's hard to be an atheist witch, but you actually can. Because to be an atheist means not in a higher power. But you can, so long as you believe in energy and life force, that it's the same thing. My grandfather, I was raised without religion. My grandfather was this very famous, practically evangelical, but atheist. He was a psychoanalyst. He hung with a big Hollywood crowd. He hung out with Carl Sagan, Norman Lear, all these academic-y, brilliant people who anything God or spiritual or religion, anything with a dirty word. But I read his books. So that's why I was free to do whatever. And they said, whatever. But when I read his books now, even though they're super academic and super, oh, Grandpa, you believe the same thing I do. You just use different words. You'll use science and you'll use these. If you get down to the through line of the energy, they're almost all the same. The names have been changed to protect almost every religion. Again, every religion almost has the same story. The Odin story is the Jesus story, is the this story, the half son of God. If you put them all, it's like, oh, there's a through line.
It's so interesting because I love horror movies, and in a lot of horror movies you have exorcisms. And you have a Christian, you have a Muslim exorcism, you have a Jewish, and it's all the same result, even like a magical exorcism. And it's always the one who is possessed screams in pain. And so I'm wondering, so if they're all so different, then if only one is correct, so why is that person who's possessed always screaming? And
what if all are correct?
Exactly.
What if all are correct? Yeah. Not only one is correct. The only thing I don't like about certain belief systems is when somebody says we are the only way. This is the only way. No, they don't. Well, pagans really don't say that. Yeah. This is good and that is good. And I don't know that Jewish says that. They have a tradition. I don't know that Buddhists say that. But it's like, if to drive from my house to your house, there's a million ways you could do it. You could walk, you could bike. Who's to say one's better than the other? You could take the long road, you could take the short road. Again, if you get to the through line, it takes movement. That's it. So whether if you could be an exorcist, and I have my best conversations. I work with a Catholic exorcist. We have this little group. We all met on Ghost Adventures, and we call ourselves the paranormal. What do we call it? Paranormal paramedics. And he's a Catholic priest. I'm an ordained witch, and the other guy is a demonologist, and he's the Zozo Ouija guy. Kind of looks, and we agree on things. Energetically, the names again may be changed. We work together so cohesively. If you take down to the through line, the point.
And you have the same, like, let's call it enemy or like a bad energy that you're fighting against. So
I do believe in good and evil. I do believe in dark and light. I do believe in yin and yang, and one really has to exist with the other. I think, especially because I live very much in the paranormal world, I think demons get way too much credit for stuff. As soon as, even on the show, it's like, it's a demon. No, it's just a cranky ghost, really.
And
you would know if it's a demon.
If you see, like, when you see, that would be my concern if I had any paranormal abilities. If I would see, I would be scared, probably.
Well,
scream?
because I started out not being scared, I knew, just like people, there's good people and bad people, there's good ghosts and bad ghosts. I have always known in every cell of my body that this is our realm of existence. This three-dimensional, a human world, this is our realm. They're in another realm. They have to play by our rules. I don't believe that, and they do. People don't know that, so they give them their power away. You get possessed and all that, whatever. Unless you have a severe addiction problem, that's a different story. Drugs or alcohol, severe problem can let in dark stuff. Severe mental imbalance can let in dark stuff. But other than that, people just either they get real angry and that will feed a dark spirit, or they'll get real fearful. That'll feed a dark spirit. If some dark spirit walked in here, just be like a parent. Be like, they're not. She's like, no, be like a disciplinarian or a teacher. Nope, this is our studio.
No.
You are not welcome here. This is my
Jeffrey, no.
body. This is my thing. You are not welcome. And guess what? They go away. And so, but I've had certainly scary things on the show. I've gone in some of the scariest places in the world. I've been at Marilyn Manson's house. I've had somebody literally burst into flames. I mean, damage can be done.
Oh, wow.
I've had all the cartilage ripped off. I've been thrown into a chair by a spirit and had all the cartilage ripped off my floating ribs, or I hit to the ground. It's real. You have to respect.
I believe that.
But
yeah, I believe it's real. Yeah.
But I also still believe we can control it. Where I've gotten trouble before, it was me getting lazy or forgetting to do my protections or forgetting to set up my wards and my things.
Yeah, I sometimes have. I mean, not that I'm not psychic, but
I feel you're pretty intuitive.
Am I?
Yeah.
Stop it. But I sometimes, maybe feel people's energy, and I say, but I don't want to go too deep into that because I'm scared. What if I see something, or if I start seeing ghosts? How would that look?
Well, you can turn it on and off. I work with people to develop it. I have the world's biggest on-off switch, and anybody I think who opens up that world, and I think anybody can, you have to have an on-off switch, because the people that get in trouble are the people who don't. I don't want to be like Long Island medium, in the grocery store going, your mother wants to talk to you. Number one, I don't even think that's ethical. It's not my business if somebody hasn't asked me for help. Number two, I just want a grocery shop. So off switch, it makes my off time normal as anybody else. I'm not going to be an empath. You're very empathic. You take on other people's stresses or headaches or this, or you feel. It's so many people who have that, they start taking it on themselves. And beautiful, gifted healers are like, hey, go take care of yourself. Jump in a salt bath or something. But on-off switch makes the on way stronger and the off livable in this world.
Exactly. Wow. That's amazing.
Oh.
You don't see anything here, right?
No.
Yeah,
This
good.
this has beautiful energy.
Great. And are there, let's go back to questions. Are there male witches?
Of course. Male witches. I know beautiful male witches, and most go by the term witch. They're actually they not warlock like from TV, though that's a little bit changing. For decades, since the Wicca era and all that, witches were girls or boys, males or females, or gender fluid. And a warlock actually was a negative term, almost like a traitor or somebody who turned against or an enemy. But there is a very famous, wonderful witch named Christian Day I think he's in Boston, Massachusetts, or near Salem or something. He is trying to reclaim the word warlock as a positive for male witch. I don't know why we're trying to separate genders now when everybody's bringing genders together. Yeah. And I have another friend, Michael Carell, also very respected male witch in the community. He's trying to use the term warlock. But I'm almost, other than those two, all the male witches I know, just they're witches.
Warlock does sound cooler. I feel
feels cooler.
Yeah,
in Europe. Well, you're from Europe.
Yeah,
Europe, definitely.
Yeah,
I definitely. I have the guy I do his podcast. He's so cute, little in Italy, and for him to hear a male witch called a witch is crazy. It's a warlock. We're warlock.
Yeah, it's like women playing soccer here. I'm like, oh my. It's like it just doesn't go. And do you have to be a part of the coven to be a witch?
Absolutely not. No, and more, it's called solitary practitioners. again, it's like your own faith. Maybe you'll set up a little altar to love or to whatever, or to a deity or to Jesus or to your cat or to
Hmm.
whatever. And you maybe, follow moon cycles, or maybe you do the Sabbats, the holidays. And I think even more than a coven is solitary practitioners. Just they're fine. It's going in. It's almost like a meditative state. It's finding your truth. Um, it's great to belong to a coven. A lot of I belonged to one for like 25 years. We all kind of moved away. We did it wasn't all witchy. We would do a Hindu ceremony one month, a Jewish ceremony the next
That's
month. We
great.
would do some, again, we just all encompassing. I'm part of a new circle forming now. Plus, in this modern day, going back to that, it's changing. There's beautiful public rituals everywhere, especially here in Los Angeles,
Mhm.
but all over the country, because I tour, I speak all over the country. Little metaphysical stores that used to just be like new agey stores, like crystals and things. Now they almost always have this more elemental, more shamanic, more witchcraft. And there's beautiful public rituals for a lot of the holy days or for a lot of the moon cycles. In Los Angeles, the Green Man store in North Hollywood, pre-COVID has, now they do it
Mhm.
online.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Like we have Samhain now, Halloween. That is the most sacred holiday to pagans. It's our new year. It is when we celebrate the dead.
Oh yes, that's what I wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
ask you because I didn't know, is that a myth to really celebrate it, or is
No, it really is. What we do is Halloween is it's actually Samhain. Samhain, but it's pronounced Samhain. That is the day when the veil between the worlds is the thinnest. That's why right around Halloween, more paranormal stuff, more hard to explain stuff. The veil is the
mm,
thinnest all year. And in the pagan practice, it is the day we celebrate the dead. It is the day we put pictures of our ancestors and our deceased loved ones. We have a bonfire. We send across newly dead. We worship them. We just thank them for being in our lives. Just like in the Spanish culture, Dia de los Muertos, same,
mhm.
celebrating our dead. It's a beautiful thing. It's not scary. But back even in Europe, it
Yeah.
got started with dressing up because people back then knew before they were numb. Ooh, the veil is really thin. There's spirits out there. So, of course, there's good spirits and bad spirits. You would put a jack-o'-lantern in front of the house to scare away the bad spirits. You would dress up in funny costumes and masks to scare away the bad spirits. So that's where Halloween came from.
Why do you think some people think that witches are evil?
I think people think witches are evil because number one, Hollywood has done that. The evil witch, the evil story, of
I know.
course,
Yes.
get from fairy tales on. But I think really what it is because witches claim their power. People are afraid of anything powerful that. Not everybody wants to be a sheep. Some people want to lead the thing, and that's scary to some people. It's not me telling them what to do. They have to tell their own sense of right and wrong. Just like, again, they're powerful and they're misunderstood, so that must be a bad. Just like things like walking under a ladder, the number 13, a black cat crossing your path, breaking a mirror. Everybody thinks is bad luck. It's not bad luck. It's powerful. It could be really good luck or really bad luck. It's powerful, but people are afraid of things that are powerful. That's it.
Yeah, and they don't understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I was afraid of witches
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
I've seen your interview.
Yeah.
And huh.
Witches are the least,
So
honestly, they're the
nice.
least scary. I've been much more afraid of people with either traditional religions or without a belief because we take responsibility for that.
And you
We're not
have
going to
a
backstab you up and around the.
and you have a three times rule. Like three, whatever you do, it comes back to you
Yeah,
three
the
times
simple,
folded.
yeah, that's the Wiccan read. It's way oversimplified for regular getting into craft, but it's a perfect example. Whatever you put out comes back to you 3 times. By the power of 3 times 3, this spell bound round shall be, to cause no harm, nor return on me. As I do will it, so shall it be. Again, by the power of 3 times 3. So sending out love, yeah, sending out abundance. Get on that TV show, sending out all this stuff. Yes, yeah. Why would I send out curses and hate and hexes? Because then I have to live in that world because we create the world we live in. And I do know witches who are dark witches or bad witches. they start getting cranky. They start getting suspicious. If you put out a hex, then you could be hexed because you create the world you live in. You know, I'm just going to send them love because that's what I'll get back. It's karma. It's cause and effect, action and reaction.
And do we sometimes even subconsciously send spells, even if for example, you're not a witch, but you're thinking bad about someone, or you're jealous, or
Of
you're
course.
envious, or angry, you send spells.
You send energy. It's
Yeah.
energy. We shoot energy all the time to people. Okay, even the funniest curse, live in LA, somebody, cut you off on the freeway, you flip them off. That's a little baby curse. It's going to affect both of you for a half a second. Not any big curse, but like, if that makes that person mad, this make that person. It's an energy hit. Again, like I said, I see the energy. So like somebody could go, we create things ourselves. The biggest curse, it could be like, I'm going to put a curse on you. Walk away. You've never thought about them. You didn't ever put a curse on them. That person's going to sit there going, oh God, they've cursed me. They're going to create their own curse. 99% of all curses are people just think they had a curse, or some bad fake psychic, some bad fake medium. Everybody's, you have a curse, give me more money. That's bull. You don't. 99.9% of curses absolutely aren't real. Or you start creating them yourself, that fear factor, because we manifest.
Yeah, I was at the mall a few years ago, like in Beverly Hills mall, and like one woman came to me, oh, you have a curse. I'm like, no, please don't say that. Yeah, she wanted to read my palm.
Of course she did.
I'm like, please, don't say that.
No, and it's not true. That's by the book, Old Scam Artist. Sadly, for this profession, for everyone good and legit and out here only to help people and being guided by the light, there's 1,000 million scams. And people, it's a big responsibility because you come to somebody, again, whether a psychic or a medium or a shaman or a witch to work in your vulnerable time. And they take such advantage. I'm actually president of the American Federation of Certified Psychics and Mediums, and I test people where you have to get background checks. But I had this one beautiful young couple, happily in love, 9 months pregnant, loving each other, educated, rich, drove up from San Diego, beautiful couple. Some very local LA, big thing on Melrose, told them that they had a curse. They don't have a curse. Already gotten $25,000 off them because they have money. Some guy with $25.
Yeah.
And now this person wanted $75,000 to break the curse. And I'm looking at them like, there is not a curse. There has never, ever, ever been a curse. Luckily, they were educated enough, they got their money back, but it happens every day. Whether they get somebody's last $14, which happened to a friend of mine, same thing. Somebody walk up, oh, you have an energy, something good, something good, something good, oh, something bad. Now we need to do this candle, take it to the church. That's going to cost you this much. Now we need to put that demon in a box, but spend a lot of money on the box. Why would you spend a lot of money on a box for a demon to bury it? No, the old shoebox, bury it, kill it. What? It's just old scam.
You were a #1 tarot reader?
Yeah, they're not doing the contest anymore, but like 3 or 4 or 5 years straight. It was an international competition, actually all over the world. That was cool. By Times Square Press, which is a publishing house. And I got a bunch of things because people voted. It was like a people's choice. Tarot reader, psychic medium, something else, occult woman of the year, all this stuff. It was great, but it is what it was. But what happened, the guy who invented that, it's so cute, who started that like years and years ago, I got a call from somebody. They were going to interview the 10 best psychics in the country. I'm like, great. Why are you calling me? Because this is especially 10 years ago. Why are you calling me? I'm not that. I'm just me. I'm not that known. I'm not that famous. I'm not rich. I'm not anything. No, we don't mean the most famous. We don't mean the most well-known. We mean the ones with a reputation. So anyway, they interviewed me and they interviewed these 9 other psychics. And this guy who did it, he's like, oh my God, you guys need a professional organization. You guys, again, because for every one good and legit and honorable, there's a million. He goes, doctors have organizations, plumbers, teachers, school workers. You guys need a professional certification process. So he started the American Federation of Certified Psychics. So that was cool. And they try to shut down. Again, they're a little on hiatus now because he's very, very ill. But they try to shut down people that are just, scam artists taking people's money. It'd be an endless job. But when somebody tests, you test and you test it. If you're testing for psychic, you have to read like 4 or 5 people and know it. If you're testing for witchcraft, you have to really know yourself. If you're testing for crystal healer, if you're testing for astrologer. So it's pretty cool. And then again, your background check to make sure you haven't got in trouble, haven't got arrested, no scam artists, no bad Yelp reviews, besides one angry whatever, but not like they took my money. So anybody going to a psychic or a medium or a healer, a witch, or check their Yelps. I mean, that's talk about magic, because so many people and then you go afterwards and they say, this person scammed me out of this. This person did this. You can look. It's like, do your homework.
Yeah, everything is online now.
Everything is online. Do your homework.
Rate everybody.
Yeah.
It's a little too much though. It's like I heard like in China they're rating each other.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it is a crazy world. There's lots of good to it and lots of
Yeah. Oh my. And you said you're a blood witch, so you're born with a gift. Is that called blood witch?
Yeah, I call it witch blood. Yeah, you got it. And a lot of people call it different things. It's with the gift. It's people who are into more angel thing, they call it angel blood. People who are into the extraterrestrial thing, they call it star child. They call it. It's when you have this other knowing besides just what other people have.
But can you go into it without if you're not born with a talent?
Yes, of course.
Can you learn it?
Yes, of course. And not one is better than the other. Everybody, and you could be a witch or practice witchcraft or Wicca or ceremonialist, and not be psychic and not talk to dead people or any of that. That's just your practice and your celebration. And but I do believe people can develop the gift if they want it, and you don't have to have the blood to choose it. It's like choosing your path. I'm choosing to be a Catholic. Maybe I was raised that way or I wasn't. I'm choosing to be that.
I didn't choose it.
I know. but you know what I mean. It's you choose.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a certain gift.
At least I'm not a Mormon or something. I'm kidding.
We love you, Mormons. No.
We love you.
Yeah. No, everything. People, everybody needs a different thing. Some people need strong, big structure. Some people need to be told what to do. Some people don't want to at all be told what to do. Some people, it's great. It's like, if we all wore the same outfit, how boring would that be? Unless it's this outfit. This looks good.
And do you ever, let's not talk about politics, but do you ever predict, or you don't do that?
I don't do much prediction stuff. Because a couple of reasons. Because putting more power into my witchy side than my psychic medium side. When you make an exact statement to me, it's almost taking away their free will because people believe it. So it's like if people keep, okay, I could say, okay, Mara, when you walk out on the street, a bird is going to poop on your head. I am such a good psychic. I know when you're going to walk out. I know when the bird's going to fly over. I know when he's going to poop, and I'm going to tell you that, and you're going to walk out and you're going to get pooped on. But if I go, Mara, there's a good chance that this could happen. Go out the back door, put your scarf over your head, then he won't. So if I go, this person's going to win, hopeful, or this person's going to win, scared to death, I don't want to put those, because we create those thought patterns. Plus it's too, I'm much more coachy, or let's create the life you want. Let's make this happen that you want, than taking away free will. Yeah. And I will, if I'm doing a reading or I'm tarot cards, it's like, okay, this is why you always pick the wrong guy. This is why it looks like, here's where your block is. And if you follow this same class, yes, you're going to meet a guy on August, and it's going to be this, and it's going to last 3 years. But if that's not working for you, let's do this. So I never say this is going to happen. This could happen. This might happen. Do you want that to happen, or let's make something else happen?
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, because free will is so important.
Free will that's what makes us amazing. We are divine. We are divine beings, like angels, and we are divine beings. We have God within us, whatever you want that to be. But the fact that we have free will, we have free will. That's why I don't like belief systems that take that away. We could do
Yeah.
anything. We could do anything with our life. That's magic. We have divinity and humanity, dextral and sinistral sides.
Yeah,
We could
most of
cure
our
ourselves.
religions are kind of like,
Yeah.
don't do anything.
Yeah.
Or you'll see. You'll get it. And what if somebody comes to you with, for example, they want to do black magic, they want to do something bad to somebody?
I won't.
Mm-hmm.
I will try to talk them out of it. There's not any money in the world, because even if you go across the point, oh, it's not my karma, it's theirs. I'm just not going to live in that world. You know,
It's low vibration.
it's low
probably, wow.
vibration, and it creates a domino effect, a domino effect, a domino effect. And even again, they could think it's the best thing. They're coming from a good place. No, it's not.
Yeah, that's the only thing scary about magic, because if we all had the power and knowledge, not all people would do good.
Right.
So that's kind of scary.
Right. And not all people do, but again, most people are good.
Yeah.
If you look on the street, whatever their belief system, or if they even have a belief system, as walking down the street, everybody's quirky, everybody's got their baggage, everybody's got their idiosyncrasies and oddities, but most people are good.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at
Yeah.
it. We have to be reminded of that.
We do.
Sometimes.
Well, that's my gig, is again this empowerment. And the reason I even created my book is the one thing I noticed that we did, we're always giving our power away. We give away, again, to limiting belief systems. We give away our power to other people. We give away our power to fear. We give away our power. And mine was like, we are magic. So that's why I have to say this. Look at these things, and you could see how powerful you are just within you. Nothing I'm telling you. And it works for health, works for abundance, works for love. I should be dead. You'll read that in the book. I should be long dead because of health issues. And I just kind of went, not going to do any of that. No. I was a victim between like 15 and 30 because my mom had taken a drug when she was pregnant with me. They gave to pregnant women. And at 15, instead, it was like girls were dropping of this cancers never seen before in young girls. I wasn't even getting my menstrual cycle. Instead, I was getting hot flashes like a 50-year-old, all this stuff, first surgeries at 15, 16, blah, blah. Oh, she's got that. She's going to get the cancer. By the time and I was a horrible victim. Oh my gosh, does she have lupus? We don't know. Fibromyalgia, we don't know. Every autoimmune disease. And I'm going, this isn't working. And I did what they say, or I didn't do what they say. And by 30, this great doctor, she's like, Patti, you have a huge tumor in your head from not taking the hormones right. You have 5 fractures in your back, and you were a dancer. If you make it to 50, which you probably won't make it to 50 because of all those carcinogens and the cancers, or breast cancer and this cancer, then you'll best be in a wheelchair. And I just went, no, I'm not going to pick up this story anymore. I'm not going to buy this story. I'm not. I'll do whatever medicines I have to do. Every symptom went away. The weird autoimmune, the rash, this arthritis from 60, everything went away. So at 50, instead of being dead or in a wheelchair, that's my first big magic to beat 70,000 people to try out for Wipeout, the world's largest obstacle course. And I did it. Hardest, scariest, most empowering thing I've ever done. And I haven't been sick. I don't get sick. Ever,
Wow.
Yeah. And we have that power. And I work with people who, and I almost can see the chronic things that they have. It's where they're putting their own blocks, they're putting their own blocks.
It's the easiest thing in the world to do, to say I'm a victim. It's not my fault.
Right. It takes away your responsibility.
They did it, the government, the this and that, It's so easy. It happens. It happens to me all the time.
It happens to all of us.
It's the easiest thing. You don't have to do anything, and it's not your fault.
It is not your fault, and you don't have to be responsible. You don't have to make anything happen. But again, you have given away all your power as a victim. And if you take responsibility, even if it's not yours, like at 30, I didn't take a drug when my mother was pregnant with me, I was in utero, but I said, I created this. I was born to this. I'm taking full responsibility for my life and I'm not choosing this. And that's when it all went away. So as soon as you're not a victim, even if somebody else did this to you, I guess I let them do that to me and I'm not going to anymore. I'm taking responsibility. Everything changes.
Yeah, even with bullying and
Yeah.
those little things that are annoying, but yeah, it's really amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, and you radiate so positive. Positively. I love it.
But you're pretty positive yourself. Again, you have a beautiful energy. You have a beautiful, soft
you.
spirit.
Yeah, I was afraid. Wow. Is my energy going to be okay?
Your energy is okay. Your energy
because
is...
you're a psychic, you're
I
all
know,
these
it's crazy.
things.
No,
It's
is
like a
what you
huge
are.
list what you are.
I-
And
no,
it's like
no, you are really great. And if you just dial your dial up a couple notches, you're gonna fly.
yeah, I feel like sometimes I'm like, let's just
It's
like,
yeah, picture
let's
your
go
radio
lower
like
it.
on a 1 to 10,
Yeah.
and you want to keep to get everybody keeps it at a safe 8.5 so you don't wake up the neighbors.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to go crank it up to 11, and you'll go, wow, I am supposed to wake up the neighbors. Crank it up to 11.
Awesome. Love it. I love Patti. Everybody loves Patti. And you do also shamanic work.
Well,
and
again,
you
it's
do all of it. Yeah.
yeah, it's all very similar. I do again because I work elementally, and there's lots of ways in the work. You could work an air-based system, an elemental-based system. It's kind of working off a compass. But I work elementally because that doesn't conflict with anybody's religion. People understand the strength of a tree with roots that go deep in branches, that the flow of water, the emotion. We understand the air, the thought process, fire, the passion of fire. That's the energy I use with. It's kind of like baking or cooking. I need some dragon's blood. I need this. So it doesn't have to conflict with anybody's belief system. It's working with nature.
And what is the connection with witches and planet Earth?
Well, this is our home. This is big rock we're sitting on. We again, if I worship anything, again, because I'm much more energetic too, we have to respect, if not worship, our planet. This is at this point in time all we have until we want to go live in a pod on Mars. And if people could put what they put into a statue of a deity or something into our planet, our water, our trees, our earth, how we live it, there's our heaven on earth.
Yeah, some say it's like Earth is like a living being almost.
It is a living being. Complete. Everything
we're
is
like the virus almost, I feel.
Yeah. Well, we're going through some big
Parasites.
shift. We're going through big shift. And everything has a spirit. Earth has a spirit. I work with these little pumpkins, have a spirit of that little pumpkin right there. A rock, a crystal, a diamond, all those beautiful stone bracelets on your wrist. They each have attributes. The aventurine will do this. The rose quartz will do this. This is soften. This will relax you. This will invigorate you. It's the spirit that they have. Yeah, the vibration. It's just energy. It's just what it is. It doesn't have to be a belief system. It just has it. Trees have it. Animals have it. People have it. Dirt has it.
This transition that is happening, Age of Aquarius, it's not really peaceful though, I feel.
Well, we're going through it. It's kind of like, not that anybody here is tarot, everything is kind of, it's not peaceful, and the divide in so many ways is getting bigger. I firmly believe, again, because I'm the optimist, that we're going to turn out okay and it's going to be better and more awake. This is a wake-up call, honestly, from this sleep. The divide is getting way too big, and there's more nasty people than ever. There's more hate. There's more, and that's
division.
Is scary, scary, scary. And a lot of people are choosing to leave, whether that's the virus or this. A lot of people, whether they're conscious of choosing it or not, a lot of people are choosing to leave. But I think it's a shakeup. I think God, universe, whatever, kind of said, "Oh, you guys are going down a bad path. Wake up." Shook us a little bit. You guys are going down a path. Wake, shake us a little harder. You guys are throw water in our face. And we still didn't do it. Now he had to hit us on the head with a 2x4 going, wake the hell up. You guys, wake up, consciousness. Again, the divide is still getting bigger, but I firmly believe good will win. Light will win.
What would be your advice to our viewers? What to do in this time of transition? What are the things we can do?
Take care of yourself first. Find your balance first. If you being happy makes the next person happy, makes the next person, you know, I always say one person doesn't make a difference. One person makes all the difference. One person, if you're taking care of your little world, your kid, your cat, your dog, your little home, you're taking care of that. You're doing good. You're picking up the trash in your neighborhood. Yes, maybe you want to go big onto politics, maybe not. But you have to find your balance and you have to wake up. That's why even in my book, I have these little 30-second exercises. Like if your head's too chatty because you don't breathe, your head's too chatty.
Buy it on Amazon, right? Or somewhere else.
Well, Amazon is the easiest way.
Oh,
Audio
okay, cool.
or or print,
Mhm.
all forms. But it's working with those elements to calm yourself down, balance yourself out, and then you could think clearly, and also let your intuition. I'm very big about dancing between that left logical brain and that right intuitive, spiritual, artist, creative brain. You can't use one against the other; they shut each other down. But you dance, and life has to be this dance. So. Again, go inside, do silly things like follow moon cycles, hug a tree. And part of the quarantine, I think, was us getting inside. There's been some really good things coming out of it. People staying home with their family, people eating dinners with their family for the first time.
Yeah, learning new hobbies.
Yeah.
And I really didn't use that time, though. When I look at it, I should have used it better. But I had so many plans.
I know.
I'm going to learn this Spanish. I'm going to learn this, that. But yeah,
it's okay.
It's going to be better.
There's time.
Yeah. Patti, thank you so much for being here. And it was amazing. Thank you so much. I hope you liked it.
I loved it. You're a beautiful
ghosts.
hostess. You're a beautiful hostess. No ghosts.
You can tell me.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
But
I'm super brave.
You're super. No ghosts. Beautiful spirit. You have a beautiful lady spirit.
Thank you. I don't know how to take compliments, but thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.